Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 55 of Aspire to Inspire, where we interview industry professionals. Today, I have the honor and privilege of interviewing working actress Princess Elmore. I'm just going to quickly give you guys a brief intro about who our special guest is and credits that you guys definitely have seen. So, Princess Elmore is a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She started her acting career as a stage theatrical performer, and she is currently a full-time TV/film actress and has been on this journey for over 18 years. Princess TV film credits currently are feature-based film, Divine Influencer, BET featured film, Love, Marry, Kill, ABC TV series, The Wonder Years, BET TV series, Tyler Perry's All the Queen's Men. And you may have also seen her in the motion picture Till and other various TV shows, indie films, and commercials. So without further ado, I am just going to bring our wonderful guest to our virtual stage to show her some love. Hello, Princess Elmore. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm doing great, and thank you for having me.
Yes, of course, of course. Like I stated before, on this platform, we like to highlight aspiring and working actors who are just doing their thing in this entertainment industry. And I'm sure with your 18 years of experience, I know that you have a lot of insight, a lot of gems and trials and tribulations that I'm sure you faced that got you to where you are today. And like I said, this platform is geared for people who want to know more about the business. So having you on this platform, knowing your work, actually seeing your work is an absolute pleasure and honor. So I say a million thank yous to you, Princess. Thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Without further ado, I would love to hop into this wonderful interview that we are going to have. I already know it's going to be fantastic. But for the sake of our viewers out there who may not know you, this is their chance to. Do you mind explaining to us who is Princess Elmore and how did you break into the entertainment industry?
Wow. Okay. Wow. Let me see where to start. Okay. First, I'm Princess Elmore, and I am a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also a wife of 27 years of marital bliss. I have five, I can't say boys now because they're young men. I have five sons, and all four of them live here with me. And then I have my bonus son that's in Kansas City. And then I also have two grandchildren. One actually is just 3.5 months, and the other one is 7 years old that is here visiting with us for a whole month this month. So I'm so grateful to have both girls here because I'm the only queen in the house. So that's fun. But as far as me breaking into the entertainment industry, I have to say that my journey, which I was not aware of, started when I was in elementary school. And I was in my very first play, school play, and I got the lead part, which was like, oh, okay, well, hey, that's good. Yeah. And just didn't know what the heck I was doing then. But I have to say that's when my actual journey began.
Mhm.
Because from that point, I always felt that I wanted to perform. I always wanted to make people laugh, make people cry, make people sad, make people angry, whatever it was. I wanted to be a part of it. And I remember when I met my now husband, we were dating some years ago, and he would take me to all the Tyler Perry stage plays. And I was
Oh,
just like, and I would sit there every time and I'm just like dreaming, like, it's gonna be me one day. I'm gonna be up on that stage one day. And that's where I started, doing stage play, theatrical. And that's where I started my actual career on stage.
right.
And some years went by, was just performing on stage when I actually had a chance to do it. But then, of course, I started, me and my husband, of course, got married. We started having kids, family, and then I kind of like took a break from it for some years, but I was still kind of doing some stuff in between. Still, I love to sing as well, so I was always singing, whether it was just at church or at weddings,
Mhm.
unfortunately funerals, and any events someone needed me, I was like, yes, let me do it. So I was just all in the mix. Whatever I could do, I was doing it, right?
Right, right, right.
So But I remember my son, my youngest son, actually, he didn't know anything about acting. I don't even think that he was even thinking about getting
Mm,
into the entertainment industry. But when he was, let me see, he's 16 now, so I would say probably like 8 years ago.
yeah.
And we had took him on an audition for to be a featured in a movie. It was on TV1 called Bad Dad Rehab.
Mm,
And being on set with him, as far as TV and film, that was it was like a light bulb, ding, just clicked on. And I was like, I think I want to do this. Let me try the TV and film industry. And from that point, actually, my now coach, that has been my coach for now probably about 10 years or so, Coach Jonna Nagel, she was her daughter was in the movie as well. And but I didn't
mm,
know it at the time. But my husband actually found out that she was a life coach and an acting coach, and she was an actress as well. And he introduced us. And so we had a lot of conversations while on set watching our kids do their thing. And next thing you know, she was my coach.
mm,
And from that point, after taking, several classes from her and being under her tutelage for so long,
mm,
it just showed me that I had no clue what I was doing still. I just did not know. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, "Oh my God." It was so different from theater and stage. It's totally different from TV and film. But
mhm,
that's where my journey started with TV and film, when I met my coach on set with my son. And from that point, doors was open. I learned so much from my
mhm,
coach. I'm still learning from my coach. And like I said, I've been in this industry for 18 years. Started on stage, and then of course transpired into TV and film, which I do majority of the time now. So
yes.
that's where it started. And I can go on and on, but I'm gonna let you ask your next question, girl, because I can just go on about that.
Please do. Please do. And again, like don't ever feel like you're over explaining because this is why I love what I'm doing with this platform. I have
Mhm,
tons
mhm,
of actors who will go on and it's just beautiful to hear because that's their passion. This is what they want to do. So all I'm saying is I can hear it all day. I can stay here for hours and hours listening how people got their start, where the acting
mhm.
bug got, I'm here for it. That's why I do what I do. But
Perfect.
you mentioned something, yeah, I know you mentioned something that I would love to dive deeper on when it comes to the difference between stage versus TV and film. And with you being
Mhm.
an acting coach, what was that transition like for you to be able to start off with stage and learn that, oh, wow, TV and film. All right, let me dial back a little bit more. It's not so much of an expression with your full body. And especially in the day and age we're in with self tapes, what was that transition like from you from stage to TV and film, personally for you?
Well, let me say, and I don't think everybody have the same experience or trend, have the I have to say mine's was, I wouldn't say difficult, but it was different. Let me use that. It was different because on stage you can be live with it. You can go over the top. You have to go over the top because people are sitting in their seats, and
Mm,
they're trying to really feel where you're coming from. So everything has to be over the top. You can do whatever. You can fall out. You can just have at it, right? You just doing whatever you need to do, and you can improv and do so much on
mm,
stage without anybody saying, "Oh, you're doing a little bit too much, girl. That's just too much," right? But on TV and film, less is always more. So you can be calm and just, they want more realistic atmosphere, behavior, emotions, reactions coming from you on TV and film. So for me, it was different because even my sisters, and let me just say that my sister and my husband too, he always says this, I'm so dramatic. That's why I'm always laughing all the time, because I'm just always so excited, and I get so excited about the little bitty things. I can look at a commercial and just start crying. It's crazy. But I mean, my husband, everybody would say, "Girl, you just so dramatic." So of
mm,
course on TV and film, I can't be that. I have
mm,
to tune into who I am as Princess Elmore comes a lot with different characters and everything. So, with TV and film, it's a little bit more on the realistic side, where theater and stage, it still can be on realistic depending on what the storyline is about. But it's more of you having to show it more, your feelings, your hands, your arms, whatever you're doing, you can do like this, And
Mm,
in TV and film, you don't have to do that,
right.
because on TV and film, all of your reactions and your emotions are shown here in your eyes and your facial expressions. So it's not so much you have to do. So it's like less is more on TV and film. Stage and theater is like just let loose. Whatever they want, you can do it, because you want to entertain and be able to reach out and be able to let the audience know exactly what you're doing,
Exactly.
and they
Exactly.
can kind of like be in tune, and you can kind of like reel them in, and they can reel you in at the same time. So it's
Mm,
totally two different worlds, but it's both of them are great. Both of them are great, and I love them both. I really do. I actually do.
yeah, I love that. My next question for you was, do you love one more than the other? But you said you love them both equally.
Well, now, okay, I have to say I do love TV and film a little bit more than theater, and the only reason why is because of the time.
Mm,
When you're doing theater and stage play, you have to go to the rehearsals on a weekly basis, or sometimes, depending on how big the production is, it may be every day, even
mm,
on the weekends. And so you're spending a lot of time there. On TV and film, hey, you got to, once you book that role, you got to learn your lines and be ready when you get there, and you have a quick rehearsal, and then it's time to shoot. I love that. I love just being able to be prepared, which we are always supposed to be prepared as actors. So when I get on set, I know that I'm going to have a quick rehearsal. That's it. And when I'm done, I'm done. It's no coming back next week or whatever, and trying to
mhm.
prepare for something that's going to be take place on stage for a few months.
Right.
Is TV and film is, yeah, I have to say, yeah, TV and film is my number one. Theater and stage is my number two.
I love that. I love that. And you're right. It is two completely different worlds. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I do have more of a love for TV and film because it's a quick turnaround. You get in, you get out, you're done, kind of. But I always ask that question. Everyone's answer is always different. But what I
Right.
found very interesting is people found their love for acting, whether usually on stage or from theater or doing their first ever production for elementary school. And I just find that so unique that, one simple moment, one opportunity from so long ago or from the very beginning, it can translate and you can reflect and see where you are today. I just think it's a
Yes,
beautiful
ma'am.
testimony when it comes to the arts and when it comes to learning and knowing the craft of acting, like I'm sure you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I truly do. And it's just both of them, though. I have to say that I do. I love both. I
Mm,
mean, I really do. It's just one that I just like a little bit better than the other one, but I do. I love them both. I really do.
mm,
It's just me. I just love to perform. It's
right.
it's just really a passion, and I always tell everybody, I eat, sleep, everything my career. Every day I wake up, and even now that it's a little bit slow, with the writer's strike and everything, it's a little bit slow, but I'm always doing something. And if I'm not doing anything for me, I'm trying to help others with, coaching my kids as well. So yeah,
Yes,
I love it.
yes. Diving a little bit into, let's talk about the other side of acting, what people may not know. And with the title of being an actor, there's a lot of misconceptions that can come with being called an actor or an actress or
Mhm.
booking X, Y, and Z type of job. And the point
Right.
I'm trying to make here is within your career, you being a professional working actress and having so many credits under your belt, what do you believe is one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to the job of an actor that you may have heard?
Oh, let's see. One of the biggest misconceptions.
Mm,
Um, oh my God, that is a really hard question, because we hear so many different
yeah.
things in this industry. Um, one, you're not good enough.
Mm.
Um, you may not be what the casting directors or the producers are looking for. So that means that you can never get ahead and you could never book the
Right.
big roles. You could never do things that you don't think that you would never be able to do because it's always somebody that, they have a misconception of what this job is. They
Right.
don't know. I hear a lot of people that may be interested in the industry, but they really don't know a lot about the industry.
Mhm.
So they're kind of like, ooh, I want to do that. I know I can do that. That looks like fun. Well, it is fun sometimes, but
Mm.
it's a basically I don't think a lot of people know if they're not actually doing it the right way and taking the steps to get to where they want to be a successful actress or an
Mm.
actor. um, I don't think they realize what all we have to do as
Yeah.
far as doing getting a coach, private coach, making sure that you're always working on your craft, making sure you have professional headshots, making
Mhm.
sure you're trying to put more and more on your resume. That means that you may have to maybe do some things that are unpaid just to get some
Mhm.
footage, some decent quality footage for a demo reel. They don't know that every day you're having to spend money out to promote yourself, to network yourself, whether you're trying to get an agent, that whole package we have to have together to get an agent. They don't realize that a lot of people, I think there is a misconception of them just not knowing or
Mhm.
aware of everything. They see us on TV, but they don't see what we had to do to actually
Gotcha.
get there and how long it took us to actually get there and everything we had to do to actually get there.
Mm.
So, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, and I have a lot of people that reach out to me um, via messenger all the time, Facebook, Instagram.
Mhm.
I saw you on the movie so and so. I want to get into acting. Can you tell me how I can get an agent? Oh, wait. Before you can get an agent, is
Mhm.
some things that you have to do. So I make sure that I tell them step by step so that they won't have, the wrong idea in their heads or get a misconception that is so very easy that they
Mm.
can do what we do because it takes so much. It's a
Mhm.
sacrifice. It's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of money that comes out of the pocket before you can start making the money because
Mhm.
you always have to have things in order. Everything has to be in a row. And a lot of times they don't understand that. So a lot of
Right.
times I have to say the biggest misconception of people that want to get into the industry and to become actor, they only want to do it because they see someone else doing it and not really seeing
Right.
what we have to do before you actually are seeing us on TV. And I see
Mhm.
that a lot. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's so easy. Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that." It's not as easy as you think.
Right.
Memorizing lines, especially when you have long monologues and all this stuff, whether it's for an audition or even when you book the role and you want to make sure everything is right because you don't want to have to
Mhm.
keep taking take out the take and then scared that they're gonna cut that scene because it didn't come out like they wanted to,
Right.
all kind of stuff. So I can go on about that too, because I mean
Mhm.
it's just so much
I
that
know.
people have a misconception. But my biggest one is just not knowing. I have an idea of what we have to go through and what we have to face before actually saying, you know,
Mm.
okay, this is what you have to do. Okay, well, never mind. Because a lot of times I give information to a lot of people and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, never mind. We'll think about it.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it, especially when you start talking about having coaches and then, well, how much are the classes? And the classes can be a little bit expensive. If you have a good coach that you want to be coached by and make sure that you're getting whatever you need to be successful and can
Mhm.
build your craft and make you stronger in the industry and make you
Right.
stronger in different characters that you're playing, it's going to be a little pricey. So when you sit down and you tell them and talk to them about, okay, so this is how much this coach costs, and this,
Yeah.
well, if you do this and if you do that, blah, 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 and then they kind of like back off. And then I have to have headshots too. Okay, that's how much those headshots are going to be.
Right. Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot that we have to do, and they just don't know. So,
Mm.
yeah, I'll leave that right
Yeah.
there because that's another one I can go on about.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And again, this just shows how real and just how fortunately expensive and what's the other word I'm looking for? Just so much time and effort is put into acting
Mhm.
and being an
Right.
actor. Like that name, or not even the name, the title can be thrown around so loosely without even really
Mm.
understanding what it takes to be an actor. And let me tell you, when you talk about those classes and those headshots, and then the next step of getting your materials together, that's just the reality of it. And it just
Absolutely.
attest, in a sense, like a testimony, I would say, to just
Mhm.
prove that when you get all your ducks in a row and you're able to have that demo reel, have those skills, have those resumes, it grows
Mhm.
and grows until when that opportunity comes, when that booking does come, you're equipped, you're ready for it because you've done
Ready.
all the things, all the necessities needed for that opportunity. And man, it's not other people's fault that they don't understand. That's something else, they see the glitz and glamour, and of course they will want that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
just that, it's a lot that goes into it. I'm so appreciative that you went into it all the way to the resume, all the way to the demo reel, and all the way to the agent. And oh wait,
Mhm.
it's so much that goes in it. So I really appreciate how real you are, because not a lot of people really dive deep into that. They want to show, oh well, I was in this, and this, and don't really explain how they got there. Just they want to
Right.
show it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
crazy. It's so crazy. But
Yeah. Yeah,
hoping,
because I like to go in detail because I hear that a lot too, that people, oh, we don't hear all of, what goes on, before you actually get on TV,
mm,
if they see you on TV or on the internet or wherever they're seeing you at,
right,
you know what I'm saying? You
right.
don't get a lot of people actually coming out and saying, well, this is what we had to do. And trust me, with my headshots, I had to go through a plethora before my agent at the time, before she even she was like, they just not strong enough. They
Mm,
just not strong enough. They just not strong enough. I
yeah.
like your theatrical, but your commercial, they're just not strong enough. So I
Mm,
was like, oh my God. So I was paying out money, 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 trying to make sure that my headshots were strong enough. And
good.
then finally I got it right. But that was recent. That was like probably like a couple of years ago that I got a recent that I decided to go with my natural hair or braids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I mean I figured out, in commercials, African American women you to have your natural hair, or
Mm-hmm.
if you have braids, a lot they go with that
Mm-hmm.
because that is part of our culture. If they see you with, a lot of weave in your head and wigs on, sometimes they'll go for it, but majority of the time, even with commercials, they love us in the natural hair, or they
Mm-hmm.
love us in, even if you have the braids and stuff, if
Right.
it make it look like you're natural, you're coming out with your natural looks as an African American woman, or men don't really have to do anything, but just keep their hair cut and all this stuff.
Nice and
But
clean.
even when you're doing that, you just have to make sure that everything is right. So, a lot of times, that misconception of, it's just easy because we see on YouTube, you see you on TV doing well. Okay. So, but ask me what I did before I
Mm,
got there. That's
yeah.
the most important question. Yeah.
Ask me what I did. That's it.
Hmm.
That's it right there.
Hmm.
And again, I appreciate the realness and just being plain as day with how this industry is. Because on top of the training, on top of getting your ducks in a row and footage and all those type of things, another aspect that this industry throws at actors and actresses is just rejection time and time again. And of course, getting into the business, and if you really want to get into it, you're going to hear constantly about the rejection and the no's, not hearing anything at all, the uncertainties. So my question for you, Princess, is how did you, or how are you navigating this industry when it comes to the rejections, the no's, the never hearing from that self tape, or never receiving any type of critiques from this particular type of project? How are you navigating the no's that this industry throws at us?
Well, first of all, it took me a minute. And sometimes I have to be honest. Sometimes it's like, dag, I thought that was a good audition, but I
Mm-hmm.
guess not because I never heard anything back. I thought it was really great. I was trying to portray whatever that they were, whatever the character they were looking for that particular role
Right.
was. But you know what? I had to really realize that, of course, in this industry, it's very fickle. So, and a lot of times it depends on, and it not only always depends on just your talent. It always is also going to depends on what you look like. If they want you, if they're trying to match you up, maybe you're playing a mother, which I get mother roles a lot. So
Mhm.
I want to, they trying to fix me up with a son or a daughter that's going to look like me, or I'm going to look like them, in order to be able to be in the front line for that, to get an opportunity to even book the role.
Right.
A lot of times it doesn't matter. I mean, I probably would have said, "Oh, I killed that audition. I know I'm gonna book it," but then I don't. you know and so in this industry, I had to like really just put in my head, it's always going to be more no's than yeses, because
Mhm.
you have, first of all, we have so many talented actors and actresses in just in the state of Georgia
Mm.
alone. And then you have LA, you have Chicago, that's really big in the industry, New Orleans as well. So you have so many people in this industry that's trying to get book that role. And when they're actually trying to book the role, even get the audition, and then they actually get the audition, you're going against maybe hundreds of people. So even if you get the audition, that means that took you down to at least the top 50 to even get the audition. So at least you're on somebody's radar from that point. So I'm just like, for me, when I get a no, or knowing that I did not book it after I've auditioned for it or whatever, I
Mm.
got into the room though. I was able to audition for it though. It may be something that they like. So maybe the next audition, when it comes from this particular casting director,
Mhm.
maybe it's something that they saw. It would say, okay, well, we couldn't book her for this one, but maybe for this project, she's probably good, because I love what she did with the other one. And they'll put you in and they remember you. All you trying to do, you're trying to book the room, but at least do a win for the casting directors and producers, so that you know what, you're always on their mind. You're on
Mhm.
their radar. So I look at it like that. I got the audition. That means that somebody liked what I did, at least a little bit. And then
Right.
even a callback is even more. And even
Mhm.
maybe if you get a pin, a pin is basically being on hold for a
Right.
role that they think they want you to pull. So that means I'm on their radar. It's something that they like. So I look at things like that. We have to in this industry, because it's so
Mhm.
hard to book sometimes. And
Mm.
it's so hard because you're going against so many talented people. It's a competition trying to book those roles in our profile range and our age range, and seeing if we're going to match up to what they want for this particular
Mhm.
project or not. And then if we don't, it is what it is right now, because I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. It wasn't for me.
Right.
But the
Right.
next one, I want to make sure that it's going to be for me. So guess what? I'm going to try even harder on the next audition to make
Mhm.
sure that they notice me even more. And
Mm.
that's me. Now, I still have to deal with the no's. I still have auditions. I don't book all of my audition. I don't even think I book half of them. Probably like one out of 50, 100 or 50. You get that in there, But I'm just saying, but yeah, and I mean, and it gets hard. It really gets hard sometimes, and you get a little bit discouraged, but you have to look at it. You know what? Look at everything that you have done up to this point, and be able, and you can say, you know what? But I've done this. I've done that.
Mhm.
I don't think it's nothing I'm really doing. I just gotta wait till my season come again, because my season is gonna come around again, and that's gonna be
Yes.
my time that I'm going to book this and I'm going to book that. I have to just wait. So never think that it's anything that we are doing wrong. Just know that
Mm.
our season just not back in yet. And when our season come back in, God is going to just open those doors. I'm telling you.
Amen.
So every single time I have a slow time or a slow period, and I know that, okay, I'm sorry if you guys hear a dog in the background. My dog
You're
is
good.
barking like downstairs. But every time I have like a slow time, that's my time to really work on things that I hadn't had a chance to work on when I was working. So when I'm
Mm.
not working, I'm able to focus on different things to help my craft. Maybe doing another, learning a different language. Maybe
Yeah.
trying to lose weight, which I am now. I'm on a weight loss program, trying to lose weight because I know my last movie that came out, I looked like a big buffalo, and I was like, "Oh Lord, got to lose weight, got to get that weight off." So it was something I had to do, you know. So I was,
Mm,
it's just different things. You want to be healthy in this industry because there's no telling what you had to do. It was a movie, and then
mm,
you'll probably bring it up. But it was a movie that I did it. I had to run through fields with high grass. I'm in my
mm,
50s. And the
mm,
other two young men that was in the scene with me in their 30s. And I'm just like, okay, y'all got me running out here. But shape. I wasn't in the best of shape, but I'm gonna make it work, whatever. So,
mm,
you want to work on things when it's slow and you're hearing no here and you're not booking this, you're not doing this, will still
mm.
continue to work on your craft. And that's what I continue to do, to work on my craft. And
Yeah.
I'm also a coach, so I can work on whatever I've learned from my coach and everything that I've learned just being on set. I can instill that in my students as well, whether you're an adult or a child. So that's what I do. That's how I overcome my no's, by knowing that, okay, that's not the one for me. The next one may be. If
Mhm.
that's not the one for me, I know the next one is coming. Whenever my season is coming, and when God says, okay, this one is for you, I know it's going to be for me.
Amen.
That's it.
We can wrap this interview right now. That was beautiful. I just it's I always get to this point of every single interview. I feel like it's just resonating every single time, and this is
Mhm.
just this is what I love to hear because this is the truth. This is what people need to know, and just imagine how many people will listen, and this interview will
Mhm.
resonate with so many additional people who don't know, and not only don't know, they may be in the business but need a little bit of inspiration, and you definitely drop so much encouragement and just so much inspiration. I mean, of course, me listening, I feel like I can conquer the world after listening to you. um but no, that's just honestly how I'm feeling, and I would love to just dive a little bit deeper into the projects that the world has seen you in, your resume, your credits. It's truly astonishing to see how much of TV and film that you're a part of. And it just inspires me to keep going. Of course, at the bottom, the ticker is going. You guys can see some of her credits. Research her as well. Follow her on Instagram as well. Her Instagram username is right on the screen. But when it comes to great, you book that job, you book that role. What is your process of getting into character? What is that like for you?
Oh my gosh. It's hard. Sometimes it can be fun because um with me, I'm a visual person. So when
Mm,
I receive a script for an audition, I always read from the beginning to the end, even if my character is not really in that scene. So what I'm looking for is descriptions of my character, their behavior, um, what I think that they would probably wear in this
mm,
particular scene, what their mindset is. So for that, and that's basically our backstory, right? So when I look at this the script, I'm looking for descriptions of where they are, what I'm supposed to be doing before the scene begins, because I love to do stuff. I have to do something. I never start a scene just standing there.
mm.
Never. Even if it's what they want when I get on set. When I am doing an audition, I never ever start a scene just standing there. You're gonna find me doing something. I'm gonna be cooking. I'm gonna be reading a book. I may be on my phone. I may be drinking something. I may be smoking a cigarette. I'm always doing something because I want the casting directors and producers to see that I'm telling a story before the scene actually begins. So in my
Mm,
back of my head, when I'm looking at this script, I'm like, okay, well, I can see her. Okay, I see what she should be wearing. Let me see. I think I can probably just be sitting down. Am I sitting down? Am I standing up? What am I doing prior to? Is she in the kitchen cooking? If I'm cooking, you may not see what I'm cooking, but I'll probably put a towel over my shoulder. I'm always doing something. So for
mm,
me, my visualization of a scene and my preparation of a character is trying to figure out the character, trying to figure out where I'm coming, trying to figure out what I need to be doing to actually bring that character to life to for me, which I think because what we do as actors is use a majority of the time we're using our creativity, especially with these auditions, because we have to be very creative in our head to think what we think that this particular character will do. So for me, I get a lot of mother roles, right? I'm a mom. So for me, I'm just like, okay, I have a what you call a substitution that I use. So maybe I'm a mother to a daughter. So of
Mm,
course, my substitution may be one of my kids. Even though they're boys, I'm still a mom. I have grandchildren now that are two girls. So I'm always using that in order for me to come from a real place. I did deep into how can I make this me? This
mm,
character is now me. I'm no longer Princess Elmore. I'm Sheila. I'm Mrs. Jackson. I'm Mrs. Miller. I'm, whomever. I am going to be that character. And that's what I try to portray by just getting myself prepared as what I think my character should say, how they should say it, where I am, where my scene is located in the
mm,
audition. I'm doing all kind of stuff. I'm always so deep into that, and I love it. I love the process for me because as soon as I get that script, I'm just like all in. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Wear. This is how I'm gonna have my hair. Should I have on makeup, light makeup? Should I just put it?
mm,
How do I do it? I go in deep because
mm,
that's just how I am. So that's how I prepare myself. I also have a book that my coach introduced us to, and it is I say it is my Bible because I use it constantly, constantly, constantly. So I'm always looking through my actor's book to see exactly what I need to do, how to prepare me for different scenes. If it's a very emotional scene, if is it a scene that maybe I'm just really angry with someone, it
mm,
helps me a lot. So I do a lot of studying with my book. I do a lot of studying in my mindset, trying to visualize everything that I need to do as this particular character, and that's it for me. I'm very visual in the back in my head because, like I said, my family always says I'm so very dramatic, and my sister would always tell this story when we were kids. I had an imaginary friend, right? So I mean, I would talk to her like she was really there. So I would just whatever she wanted. I had it. So in my mind, my imaginary friend needed a dress or she needed a coat or she needed to be drinking something or she was hungry. So I was always kind of like had this visual thing going on in my head. I don't know. I don't know if I'm half crazy or not. I don't know, but it helps. It really has helped my career because I'm just all deep in when I'm trying to
yes,
prepare for my character. I am.
yes. And I think you being a coach, I
Mhm,
can hear how detail oriented you have to be when it comes to creating this world, especially within your self tapes.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
in the day and age that we are in, it being self tapes, could you possibly share any type of advice or guidance to achieve a successful, well-rounded self-tape? And I mean, I don't want you to do a whole complete masterclass right now about it, but just some major tips or even just how to distinguish between an actor who may just be doing a self tape for the first time versus it being professionally done by someone who knows how to get around, knows how to make it work. Any pointers you may care to give at this time?
Absolutely. I mean, let me just add, when I first started self tapes, they were horrible. I did not know. I had no idea, and I didn't know what I know now, and I didn't have anybody to reach out to tell me how to do a self tape. I didn't know we had to have a plain wall in back of me. I didn't know, the lights had to be a certain way and what color backdrop. If you had backdrops, I didn't know anything. I was walking into frame, and you saw my whole living room. You saw my couch. You saw everything because I didn't know. So,
Right.
what you don't know, but when you know, you do better, right? So, what I can just say is just make sure you have detailed information. If you are
Right.
not sure of how to have a really great self tape, find out. Find out from other coaches. Find out someone that other actors that have been in the industry for a while. Talk to them. Let them, let them kind of like instill some things that they have done that help them book when you're getting ready for a self tape. Make sure the lighting is correct. Make
Mhm.
sure you have, if you're using a camera or even a phone, that your framing is correct.
Mhm.
Pay attention to the please pay attention to the instructions that they send when you get in an audition. Make
Mhm.
sure that framing is correct. Make sure you pay attention to the slate, which of course a lot of people don't know what a slate is, and that's
Mhm.
basically doing your name and height or your location, whatever they want for per that audition. They will give you detailed information. Make sure you know, and
Mhm.
also make sure when you're starting the audition that you have already done your inner work and your backstory of your characters. Make sure that is always the point, that you take time to study your character, get into
Yeah.
your creativity, because that's the reason why you became an actor in the first place. I want to, because you have a lot of creativity, that you have all these different characters going up in your head.
Mm.
Use those different tools that you have really just came and drove you into. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. Do the work, do the inner work. Make sure you're doing your back study, because if not, then this is what it's going to be when you do your first tape, and it's going to be
Mm.
like, I'm reading from a script, and this, yes, you said okay, and no, we don't want that. We want to make sure that when you're doing an audition, that it doesn't look like you're acting,
Mm.
meaning make sure that you're realistic, make sure you're calm and relaxed, and make sure you have the confidence that you need to actually portray the character, whatever character you are getting ready to perform and audition for. Do the detailed information, make sure you study, and make sure you have good lighting, all that good stuff, because it helps, because they look at it. They look
Right.
at it. You can have a fantastic audition, but if they can't see you or you're blurred, or they
Mhm.
can't hear you because the volume is not right, guess what? They're moving on to someone
Right.
else. Right.
Right.
So you want to just make sure for a great self tape that you have that lighting, that your sound is on pack, that your framing is good and is clear, that they can see you. They can see
Right.
your eyes. They can see everything you do, because that's what a self tape is. They want to be able to see you and put in their imagination always. Like I said before, do not start an audition and you're just standing there. Come
Mhm.
walk in. If you think you're supposed to be walking in on frame, walk in on frame. If you
Mm.
already on frame, have something to do. You can even turn for a minute and turn back. Maybe you're eating something, snack or whatever you think. And even sometimes you may even have casting directors say, well, we don't want you to use any props. That's cool. You don't have to use any props, but guess what? If your framing is up chest, you can look like you're doing something down here. I'm
Mhm.
reading something. Here you go. You take this. You don't know what I'm doing. They don't know. They don't see nothing. They still just see your body. So just
Mm.
make sure you're doing something. Always do something for these self tapes and not just standing there. They want to see, you want to create a story for the directors, for
Mm.
so they can see, oh, I can see that. I can see what she's doing in my head. I really like what
Mhm.
she's doing.
Right.
I didn't even think about that. We can put that. I like what she did that. Be creative when you
Yeah.
have your audition. And I think when you put all of those things together, you will have a fantastic, absolutely amazing self-tape audition.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. And like I said, this is the age of self tape. I don't see it going
Mhm.
anywhere anytime soon. Just strengthening that
Right.
tool definitely takes you a step further than, someone who may not know, or someone who's lighting or hearing, or well, not necessarily hearing, but the hearing of the self tape. It can really
Mhm.
distinguish you from the group, from the crowd, from all the
Absolutely.
actors that may have submitted. And real quickly, diving a little bit more into your work, but not just your work, your experiences on set. And I'm sure that you have learned a numerous number of things from your experience on set, whether it's technical things, whether it's life lessons, whether just relatively something. We're always learning, we're always evolving and growing. If you could share possibly one of the most major or the biggest or major lessons that you have learned from your experiences from being on set that you would like to share, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, you know what? I was just talking to somebody about this not too long ago, and we were discussing how to behavior on set. First of all, you want to be able to um have, have that behavior of being professional. You want to always be professional and have a behavior of positivity, because no one wants to work with anyone that's always complaining about any and everything. You want to make sure that you're going there, you're going to have fun, let them see your great personality, be understanding. Sometimes it may be a delay in some things that you may try to do or are trying to accomplish. It's just, it may be a delay in maybe filming, maybe something went long in the other scene that they're working on. So you just want to make sure that you're always professional, make sure you're always patient, and just always let them know that you're excited to be there, and thank them for their time when it's all over. Because that's how you stay on their radar, because if they like the work that you do on this project, they may just call you back for something else in the future. So you always just want to have a very positive attitude. Make sure you stay patient, make sure you're ready, make sure you know your lines, and also just make sure that you're just ready for anything that comes. They might want to switch something up, and they may switch your line from a line that you probably rehearsed the whole couple of weeks before you even got on set, or just make sure that you're ready to improv. If you need to improv or do anything different, you want to always make sure that you're ready for what is to come and be prepared if they want something more from you. But also, the most important thing is to be just to make sure that your behavior is on point, always being professional, always, always, always be on time. If your call time is at 1 o'clock, you need to at least be there like 12:30, 12:45. Be a little bit early, even if they can't even let you into your trailer at that time. You always want to be early. You're on time. If you get there at 1 o'clock, you're late, because they're always already trying to get you in wardrobe and do all this different stuff. So make sure you take that professional etiquette with you. Make sure you're always on time. Stay patient, be calm, and be ready for anything when it happens. Absolutely.
I love that. I absolutely love that. This industry that we're in, and you even
Mhm.
mentioning the improving, oh, that's a whole nother topic that it's just a
Yeah.
different world. Like, because being in the room or even doing a self-tape, sometimes the requirements or the audition instructions can be so out of the box. And you as the
Mhm.
actor, you have to adapt to what's given and be able to give a response or give a performance just from within the audition instructions, which is just
Yep.
so crazy to wrap around sometimes of what we're
Oh yeah.
asked to do. It's just
Mhm.
it's hilarious
Mhm.
to think about. But yeah, just reflecting on what you've been saying, I think, oh, there's
Mhm.
just so much truth in what you're talking about, and you're just a testimony of what hard work and dedication and consistency looks like. So
Oh, thank you.
yes, of course. I only have a few more questions for you, and these questions are really geared towards this platform, Aspiring to Inspire. And
Okay.
I always ask my guests this question, and it requires you to have an imagination, a creative spirit, because I'm a huge person when it comes to declaring what you want in this lifetime and being able to watch it come to pass, in
Yeah.
God's timing, of course.
Mm.
And the
Yeah.
question is as follows: where do you envision yourself? Let's say 10 years down the line. Do you see yourself in front of the camera still, behind the camera, maybe even, or possibly going into the casting side? Or, the possibilities are endless, but I would like to know, Princess, where do you see yourself in 10 years or so?
Oh, in 10 years. Yes, absolutely. Well, I definitely want to see myself, or I definitely do see myself still on on the screen, whether it's big or small. But I also want to, you know what? And I've gotten so many people to ask, have you thought about directing or producing and everything? I was like, well, no, I haven't. But you know what? I think I want to maybe dip my hand into it a little bit because it just seems like it'll be something interesting. It'll be something different and more that I can add to my resume. So I am hoping that within 10 years, if not before, excuse me, that I am able to do a little directing or producing as well. And hey, you never know, casting. It could be in the cards as well, but I definitely know that I would definitely want to be, or I plan to be, still on the screen doing great big things. Hopefully find me a permanent home on a
Mhm.
series or a TV series or an episodic. You know, I just want that home that I can find that I am constantly on your TV
Mhm.
screens. So that is where I definitely see myself in 10 years, hopefully sooner. But in 10 years, you know, I'm gonna be a little older. So that, yeah. So we're gonna be a little bit older, but I'm hoping to still be have a permanent home, or
Mm,
to even just be on the big screen more often. You know,
mm,
like I said, I love what I do. I always see myself in different characters, even when I'm just sitting here looking at my TV. You
wow,
know, I see myself. Oh, I can play that. Oh my gosh, I wish I had that role, or maybe a role similar to that would come. So
wow,
those things are always in the back of my head,
mm,
but I have to put this out there. Whatever is for me, and what God has planned already, planned in my
mm,
purpose for me from him, that's what it's going to be. So
right.
I just have to just keep on praying and knowing that God is going to lead. He's leading the path. He has
Mm,
led me to where I am now, and preferably he's leading me to all that is what to come, and that's where we're going to go. So in 10 years, I know my God in heaven has got something really big for me. And I
yes,
know every time I try to get myself prepared, whether it's on the health kick or losing weight, doing this, doing that, you know, I know that it was all in his plan.
mm,
My belief is that any and everything that we wish to do is already in God's plan because He's already mapped it out. So when
mm,
He gave us these gifts, these talents, He already mapped it out. When He give us these different opportunities, He's already mapped it out. So
mm,
whatever is to come 10 years down the line, He's already mapped it out. I can only say what I think I feel that I know that's going to be going on in 10 years, but He
yes.
has the last, the final say so. So we'll see how it
Yes,
goes from there.
we will see. And it's going to be bigger than what you ever imagined. And I can say proudly that you were on this platform and I'm able to see all the successes that you will, in God's perfect timing, of course, will
Mhm.
accomplish. And
Amen.
Princess, I have no additional words to say because I am filled with so much joy and thankfulness and appreciation for, again, your time, your honesty, and just the realness that you show yourself, with this platform. And again, this industry can be very, very defeating and very, very challenging, but thank you for being a representation of what investing in yourself looks like and what God's timing, his perfect timing looks like. And I,
Mhm.
I can't wait to see all that you're going to do, are doing, and will continue to do. So I'm filled with so much joy and appreciation.
Thank you, thank you. And you know what? I always pronounce your name wrong. Is it Amaje? Is
Yeah,
Amaje? Okay. Because I was like, is it Amaje? Because I'm like, I don't want to be pronouncing your name wrong. And I've known you for some time. And I'm just like, is it Amaje? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Amaje, for helping me. I mean, for having me. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And please invite me back.
yes, I will. I will. And with this interview coming to a close, I always have this last question, just a little ounce of inspiration that you have left to share. And I'll center this question on you. Princess Elmore, this platform is designed for people like yourself, industry professionals who want to build a platform to inspire others. So I ask you, Miss Elmore, how do you desire to use your platform to inspire others?
I use my platform to inspire others by just letting them know whatever you want to accomplish, no matter the age, no matter the hour, no matter the day, no matter the obstacles, your obstacles or circumstances, never give up. Never give up on your dreams. Listen, I am in they ain't gonna tell my age, but I'm over 50. And I started this industry back in my 30s, but I'm just getting started. The last few years has been amazing. My career did a 360 in just the last 2 years, but we're going back like 18 years, probably a little bit more now. And I was determined. I just knew that this was something I really wanted to do when I decided in 2018 to leave my job, a professional job in the corporate industry, and I was a VP at a bank, and I was making pretty good money, and then I decided, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I've done this so long. I want to do what I really was destined to do before I leave this earth. I want to see if I can make it as a successful actor. Did not know what was going to happen, but my faith walk took place in 2018 when I decided to be a full-time actress. Did not know if I was going to even have any work. Was not booking too much of anything, but I knew this was something I wanted to do. And I had a supporting husband. He's still so very supportive, that understood where I was coming from. So when I told him, okay, this is what I want to do, he was right on board. He's always been my number 100% supporter of everything